Welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show, hosted by Mason Kern. He keeps his nose to the ground to report on what's trending in professional and college sports, to inform, enlighten, and entertain. And now it's
the Sports Watchdog.
The Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here on KDUS AM 1060 Phoenix. As always, I'm your host Mason Kern, joining you every Sunday, and we've got another jam-packed episode of the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here for you guys today. It's going to be a lot of twists and turns. We're talking basketball, we're talking college, NBA. We're taking it back right here locally to Arizona State as they took on Colorado in China on Friday. Give you a little rundown as to the preparation for all that. Televised obviously on ESPN2, so takeaways from that. And a lot of, college basketball is back. Pac-12 basketball is back. The NBA is back. College football is still on. It's the best time of the year, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but basketball, obviously, basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. You know that song. I know you guys do. So we're going to get right into it here. Let's have a great show.
10 magical years of wonder, 10 enchanted years of light begins at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess on November 26th. This iconic AAA 5-diamond resort becomes the most festive place this side of the North Pole during its annual Christmas at the Princess 5-week festival. It begins with tree lighting on November 26th through New Year's Eve. This year will feature event favorites like the glistening 4-story musical tree, desert ice skating rink, Princess Express trains, lagoon lights, holiday characters, and Santa's secret headquarters, all available nightly throughout the season. New experiences for 2019 include a glimmering Winterland, new food and drink options, and more. Continue a family tradition or create a new one by joining our friends at the Princess to enjoy fire pits, igloos, photos with Santa, and more. Special packages and experiences are available. For more information, visit scottsdaleprincess.com/Christmas.
All right, guys, so today we're going to get started right into the interview portion of our show because I've got a really special guest on the line for you guys today. It's Bobby Hurley, Arizona State basketball coach, and ASU's had a lot of success under Hurley. They've made back-to-back NCAA tournaments for the first time in program history since the 1960s, under legendary coach Ned Wolk when he led them to 3 straight appearances, and Bobby Hurley and company will be looking to do that again this year. And obviously the team headed out to China this past week to take on Colorado in a non-conference game despite playing a Pac-12 opponent. So they take on Colorado in China. It's counted as a non-conference game, and we have kind of the sound of the preemptiveness and everything leading up to that trip, the game plan, the thoughts about going to China and playing a Colorado team that was predicted to finish second in the conference just behind Washington this year.
I think we're a bit of a work in progress. That would be my best call here after tonight. Some bright spots, some things to be pleased about, and some others that we got to just improve and get better. And Rob, I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. He's had a really, he's worked extremely hard in the off season, working on getting his back right, and he feels great. He's moving great, and he's been terrific. Our first 2 games. So his threes in the first half, I thought were very important for us to, build the lead that we built, and I liked him hitting that momentum 3, going into the half, which gave us a 20-point lead, a pretty comfortable margin.
How do you feel the defensive communication? I know first game at home, but defensive pressure and the communication was throughout the game.
We held them down. I don't know. There probably haven't been a ton of games since I've been here, the team under 50 points. So that's no matter who you're playing, and we turned them over quite a bit. I wasn't particularly happy with the offensive rebounds. We got to kind of lessen that if we can, but they did miss a lot of shots, so they had a lot of opportunities to try and get an offensive rebound. Otherwise, things to be worried about, maybe just didn't like that we shot as poorly as we did from 3 in the second half especially, and sometimes in a game that's getting lopsided, you could just lose your edge a little bit and not concentrate as much because I believe as we grow and develop, it could be one of, possibly the best three-point shooting team that I've coached, and it just hasn't really developed yet to that point. But hopefully we'll get more time to practice, over the next 10 days. Obviously 2 days to prepare for Ryder, and then, another full week of practice.
When you said the other day about Jaelen House in Colorado that he didn't shoot well, but he impacted the game, really, what was it that made him impact the game, not only then, but also tonight? His defense, his energy?
Yeah, his on-the-ball defense and his instincts on defense. So he had a play in the first half where he really he was like a defensive back, kind of read their dribbler being out of control, and he was off the ball, and then all of a sudden he stole it, from their guard, and we were going the other way. And he did that against Colorado too. He had a big steal in the second half in that game, and just didn't convert the layup, an open layup, and you saw that again today. I mean, it's a big reason why we look at the stat sheet and see 14 steals. It's a lot for a team, and it's it's Jalen's impact on the ball defense and his instincts off the ball.
I know you played one of the smaller teams you're probably going to play all year long, but how pleased were you with Romelo, double-digit rebounds tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy like when the ball was thrown back to him going down the center of the lane. If this was 3 weeks ago, he would have tore the rim down, but that's what happens when you miss 10 days of practice and you go out here and play. And the same thing for Tayshaun. They're just those repetitions are very valuable, and they didn't get them. So, anything positive that those guys did to me today would have been a surprise, just because we've had no time to work with them on the floor.
Against an overmatched team like this, how much are you looking at, like, gauging where certain guys are at with their play, with early minutes, or what's your focus on, just kind of sorting through some things?
Well, you like to generate the lead that you generate so that you can manage guys. And one of my biggest concerns coming into the game was just the impact of the trip and how the guys are going to feel, and just knowing how I feel, and it's not great. So I can imagine how they are trying to run up and down the floor like that. So just being able to rest guys more and not have them play the last 7 or 8 minutes was important. And for other guys that haven't gotten as much time, for those guys to play, it really helps if you could create that kind of margin.
Early in the game especially, your guys were really going into the passing lanes and getting steals. Is that because of this matchup, or is that something you plan to do going forward? Well,
I mean, look, they're small and they have a number of guards, so you would expect it would be more difficult to turn them over the way we did, but we were able to do that again, and I believe Colorado had 18 or 19 turnovers in that game, and they're very, very well-disciplined team, well-coached. So it's definitely one of our strengths if we commit to it and we play with that type of energy on defense.
So, John, even though this wasn't a season opener, but first game over here at home, your dad watching your first time as a Sun Devil, with any butterflies or anything like going on?
Nah, not really no butterflies. I was just excited to play in front of all my family and friends, though.
Coach compared you to a defensive back, the way you play defense. What do you look for when you're reading the ball handler and where he's going to go?
I don't know, just effort. I feel like you really want to play defense. I feel like you could be good, but I've been doing it since I was like a little kid, so I'm just used to playing hard on defense.
Do you think that game last week gave you confidence coming into tonight?
I always have confidence. I don't think that boosted my confidence, but you could say that, I guess.
How do you think the presence of Romelo helped from last game to this?
We need him. He's a big part of our team, so whenever he's out, you're going to see that. But when he came back, he helped us rebound and things in that nature.
What do you think the biggest adjustments have been to playing at this level?
The speed and the pace is very different. Of course, the length. When you get around the basket, just things of that nature too. Yeah.
Is Bobby pointing out, like, what kind of things have you taken from Bobby about all that?
I mean, we don't really talk about that. We just talk about the game and stuff like that. So yeah.
With so many guards in the rotation playing ball handler roles, how do you guys split it up and make sure you all get good time with it?
We don't really care. I mean, if we get the ball, we get the ball. But if we don't, we're not going to stress over that. we got too many scorers on our team to just be thinking about that. So, like, if somebody get off one night, that's fine. We don't really care.
I saw your dad was here. Did he say anything about just watching you in the same arena where he had so much success as a Sun Devil?
Nah, he ain't say nothing. He just talked about the game.
What do you think? Did that surprise you, or did you think he would say anything? Or
Nah, he always talked to me after the game, so it wasn't surprising.
what do you have to say?
I played well, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't want to say our conversation.
Jaelen, just as a freshman, what did it mean just seeing like both Romello in the first minute he was back in a block, and then Tayshawn's first minute he's back score? Like, to what extent did that ignite the team?
I was really happy for them, honestly, when that happened. I mean, they had to sit out our first game, so we want to get them going throughout this season.
You guys coming back from China, what's you guys like your time and all that stuff? Is it messed up still?
Nah, not no more. Like the first night I got back, I couldn't fall asleep for like the whole night. I went to sleep in like the morning. But other than that, I'm back on track now.
How much has Remy helped you develop your game at this level?
Going against him in practice, it helps a lot. He's been on this level for a while. So just going against him, playing defense on him, him playing defense on me, it really helped my game.
Do you see similarities between your two games?
Nah. Nah.
I know it's early, but how do you feel, I was asking Coach, I mean, the communication and on defense with the team is so far?
Say that again?
Communication, like, on the floor defensively for you guys.
We need to work on that. I mean, we go through it in practice, but it don't really transfer over to the game, so we got to keep working on that in practice and try to get that to transfer to the game.
Is there somebody you pattern your game after?
Nah.
Not in the NBA.
Nah. I mean, I got a favorite player, but, like, I don't really play like him.
Who is it?
Kyrie Irving.
The start of last season when you really weren't able to play in the first 7 or 8 games. Back, and now you scored 15 points in the first half. Think about just kind of contrast to last season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a lot more confidence, and I'm just feeling good, healthy, and trying to help the team win as many games as we can.
And did you just, on a night like tonight when you make all those threes to start, do you have a sense of that even before the game starts that might happen, or just once you make a couple, or? Well,
yeah, before I go into a game, obviously I'm thinking about making a bunch of shots, and when I hit one, I usually just tell Coach, like, all right, I'm good, and then he'll give me another one. If I hit that, then we can keep going. But if I miss, I'm not going to stop shooting. I'm always just, shoot, because most of the time teams leave me open, so I just let it fly, especially off like a driving kick. That's the shot I got to take, so I just try to make them.
Was it important to you to have the debut that you had last week in China, to have one of your better games as a Sun Devil?
What was that?
Was
Sorry.
it important for you to have that debut you had last week in China, one of your better games as a Sun Devil?
Was it
important, for your confidence and just?
Oh, well, that's what I try to do every game, just come out and play hard as I can and, do as much as I can to help the team. And my job is making shots, so that's what I try to do.
Did they draw that one up for you before the half? Bobby talked about that hitting that three.
Yeah, he drew that one up, me to come off a down screen and just let it fly.
Yeah, 5 3-pointers in the first half. What can you say about the rhythm that you were in and what your teammates were able to find you for open looks?
That's one big factor. They found me, while I was open, and that makes it so much easier for me to just be able to just catch and shoot, relax, not having to get off the dribble or make it difficult on myself. But for my teammates finding me, they did a great job.
It's such a deep guard rotation. How are you guys working out how many touches you guys get, how you can pass around the ball and make sure everyone gets a good time with it?
Well, if it's no play call, then it's just whoever gets it, just go, but most of the time, we have a set play call, but everyone touches it in our play, so we just try to find an open man if the play breaks down, or just try to take our guy off the bounce.
Rob asked Jaelen this, but just to what extent did you feel like the team got energized, both when Romello and Tayshawn kind of came back into the game for the first time this season?
Yeah, that brought a lot of energy. That was like our spark that we needed, but they both dominated at their positions. Tayshawn, shot maker, he hits shots, and Melo, plays down low. But he's just a beast down low. He gets rebounds, block shots. He does everything that we need, offense and defense. So we can't ask for nothing much. We just happy to have him back.
Bobby said he was a little disappointed with the three-point shooting overall for the team. You also was a little surprised that you came out a little slow out of the gates as a team shooting beyond the arc?
Yeah, especially that second half. I feel like a lot of those shots that we shot could have went in. It was just tough for us, I guess, not being able to hit a couple threes at the beginning of the half or at the beginning of the second half. But, we'll get back in the gym, work on it, and just try to be consistent as we can.
What's it been like just getting back into a routine after China? You messed up your sleeping habits or any of that stuff?
Yeah, it was tough. Everybody, we always was talking about it, and we got a group text, but we all been going to sleep at like 5 a.m. So it's starting to, roll better now. We've been going to sleep earlier, and me personally, I think I went to sleep at midnight, like past couple nights, but before that I was like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., couldn't sleep. So I feel like we've adjusted, and we back into the flow of things with like study hall and practice, so where we need to be.
What was the favorite part of that trip?
The experience. We lost the game, but I feel like it was just the experience, their culture, learning about what they do each and every day and like their buildings and stuff. I feel like that was real interesting, but it was just a great overall experience.
What's it like to practice against someone who has the energy of Jaelen House?
Oh yeah, he bring it every day. He like an irritant. I said that earlier in yeah, I said that one earlier out on the court. But he bring it every day. He picks up full court at practice. So when he does it in the game, it's like, do you? He brings a lot of energy. Whoops. Sorry. But yeah, he bring a lot of energy, and that's what he do. He play defense hard, and he try to get as many deflections and steals, and just be in the right defensive spot as much as possible.
All right, guys, great insight there from Arizona State coach Bobby Hurley. We'll be right back after this break. You're not going to want to miss the next session of our show.
If you're looking for a fabulous Southwest Desert staycation or daycation destination, check out the Four Seasons Resort Scottsdale at True North. Situated in the scenic foothills of North Scottsdale, this luxurious retreat is perfect for a sun-filled winter getaway. Guests enjoy spacious, newly renovated guest rooms and suites all feature breathtaking towering cacti and dramatic rock boulder views. Amenities include a well-appointed spa and fitness center with guided meditation walks and yoga hikes, all perfect ways to rejuvenate. The resort's inviting pool with negative edge waterfalls is also custom designed for relaxation with private cabanas and refreshing poolside cocktails. In the evening, indulge in acclaimed dining with James Beard Award-nominated chef Samantha Sands as she creates bright and flavorful contemporary Spanish cuisine. Nearby, enjoy priority privileges on the renowned courses of True North Golf Club or set out for a desert hike right from the resort's grounds. For more information, visit fourseasons.com/Scottsdale.
You ready to hoop it up?
This is Happenings on the Hardwood.
All right, guys, it's that favorite time of the show. At least it's mine. You guys know it's Happenings on the Hardwood. We're pivoting over to the basketball side of things now, talking a little Pac-12, talking a little college overall, and talking a little NBA. So getting right into it here, Pac-12 basketball. A lot of infusion of talent to the Pac-12 conference overall in the 2019 class. Oregon tops the Pac-12 recruiting rankings in 2019. More of a factor of a reality where Oregon lost a lot of talent. Okay, they lost a lot of players to the draft, a lot of early departures, so they had to kind of fill their coffers, and they did so with 7 commits. Okay, that's a lot. That's a full team, 6 enrollees, 4 transfers, 1 player who signed his letter of intent according to 24/7 Sports. So when you look at the class overall, N'Faly Dante, center, 5-star, 14th ranked prospect overall in the country. One of 2 5-stars to sign with Oregon in the 2019 class, alongside C.J. Walker out of Orlando, Florida, 5-star power forward, top 30 player overall. And Oregon got a big benefit from a player who reclassified originally at 2020, now at 2019, and now enrolled at Oregon already in Addison Patterson out of Scottsdale, local player out of Bella Vista Prep. Shooting guard, 6'6", 180, and top 50 player, top 45 player in the country at number 42 overall in the 2019 class. That's the top end. There was another mid 4-star player, top 100 player in the country in Chandler Lawson, who's another power forward kind of complementing C.J. Walker. And then the most probably impactful transfer comes out of UNLV in Shakur Joyston. I don't really necessarily know how to pronounce it, so sorry, Shakur, but I think that he has the chance to be one of the more impactful newcomers in the Pac-12 conference as a whole overall. Obviously, coming from UNLV, it'll be immediate eligibility, and he's poised to make a big impact. Now, in terms of just straight talent, an infusion of talent. I mean, obviously 2 5-stars, 3 4-stars. That's a lot of talent that Oregon brought in. But top tier level of talent, I really look at Washington, and they had the highest average besides Arizona in terms of their commits. They had 4 commits overall, and probably some of the best talent overall. 11th ranked class in the country with 4 enrollees and 2 transfers. Isaiah Stewart, number 3 prospect in 2019, had offers from Duke, Kentucky, all the big boys. Chooses Washington, a center, 6'9", literally the number 3 prospect in the country. And he complimented Jaden McDaniels, another top 10 prospect, the number 8 player in the country, power forward, out of Federal Way, Washington. And, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. Small forward, power forward, kind of combo forward type player who can stroke it from deep, freak athlete, and a good handle as well. So, I mean, those two are guys who they're going to be tough this year. It's going to be tough to contend with them, and they were picked number 1 in the Pac-12 by the preseason media for a reason. Quade Green, also a former 5-star, transferred from Kentucky. And they also got a transfer from USC, a 4-star in Jerron Brooks. So a lot of talent infusing into that Washington roster after losing the former Pac-12 Player of the Year last season. Arizona also, looking good in their first game. Nico Mannion, the number 9 overall prospect. Josh Green, number 13 overall. 2 5-stars right there for you. Zeke Nnaji, he's top 40 player in the country in 2019. He had a major game. Christian Koloko rounded out their class, another center. And then some great transfers as well. Jamari Baker out of Kentucky, Jordan Brown out of Nevada, and Max Hazard out of UC Irvine. So we'll see what impact those guys can make. But Pac-12 as a whole so far, undefeated. Oregon State, as of the beginning of the slate back on November 5th, after the first round of games, Pac-12 remained undefeated. Oregon State with an opening 20-point victory in their game against CSUN. USC absolutely thrashed Florida A&M 77-48. U of A, like I said, number 21 in the country right now, blasted Northern Arizona 91-51, 91-52, a great overall performance by Josh Green, Nico Mannion. Those guys were plus 30 in their player efficiency ratings, so obviously that's really good. Stanford gets the win over Montana by 11. You would have liked to see them win maybe by a little more comfortable margin, but they'll probably be toward the bottom of the Pac-12 after losing KZ Okpala and some of their major playmakers last season. UCLA escapes Long Beach State with a 4-point victory. We'll see what to make of UCLA with no Jaelen Hands, who got drafted by Brooklyn Nets, and some of their other talent that departed early for the NBA draft and otherwise. And then Washington State, good signs for them, blasting Seattle. Obviously, the level of competition isn't Pac-12 caliber, but they get a 30-point victory, 85-54. And the China game with ASU in Colorado, that was something to watch. College basketball as a whole, just being back, was really awesome to see. Cole Anthony set a University of North Carolina record for most points by a freshman in his debut. 34, just a slight little 34 ball for Cole Anthony. He had as many points as the entire Syracuse team had in their first game. So, that just tells you what a special talent Cole Anthony is going to be for this North Carolina Tar Heels team, following in the footsteps of the great Michael Jordan, obviously. But we're not going to make that comparison yet, obviously. But a very impressive performance, nonetheless, from Cole Anthony in North Carolina's victory. And there's been some good games. Kentucky, Michigan State, 1 and 2 in the preseason polls, and guess what? Kentucky number 2 gets the best of Michigan State number 1. So maybe those rankings aren't as accurate to begin the season. I don't really know for sure, but what I do know is that all of these teams in this year's tournament is going to be hard to predict, and it's going to be interesting to see what Pac-12 teams make it, considering there's been such a stigma on the Pac-12 in terms of the talent level overall in the conference and how it's in football and basketball, really, how they're the subpar Power 5 conference. We'll see with this huge influx of talent what happens. And for Arizona State, they have a player who probably was a little under-recruited and has the potential of being one of the most impactful newcomers in the whole Pac-12 this year. And I'm talking about Alonzo Verge Jr. He led junior college in scoring last year, over 30 points per game. And this is a dynamic scorer. He's a 3-level scorer, good athlete, probably a little undersized, but he's a good guard with great vision. He gets his guys open. He makes players around him better. He comes from Chicago. He's got an edge. He's got some grit. This is a kid who wants to go at you every single time he touches the ball. And even when he's playing off the ball, he wants to make you as uncomfortable as possible. He's yelling at his teammates. He's getting everyone involved. He's already a leader on this roster. And this is his first collegiate season in Division I in a Power 5 level after obviously coming out of junior college. He is a guy who makes you better. He is a guy who can score at will. And he had 18 second-half points in the not-so-secret, air quote, scrimmage against UCSB, all in the second half. I mean, this is a dynamic scorer. Like I said, he can score whenever he wants. He can get a bucket. He's a walking bucket. People have called him a walking bucket. And it'll be interesting to see Bobby Hurley's starting lineup and how they complement Verge with Rob Edwards, the senior, Remy Martin, Pac-12 all first-team caliber junior. And some of these other guys, sophomore Elias Valtonen, we'll see what role he plays this year in kind of a more expanded minutes. We'll see if Tayshaun Cherry can unlock the potential that he has within him. Kamani Lawrence, will he break out in his junior campaign? But this ASU team, if not a play-in, at least for the NCAA tournament this year, next year's roster looks scary because they have one senior and a ton of juniors. There will be a lot of experience on that ASU team, and they're infusing talent. They're in on Josh Christopher. They already have Marcus Bagley committed. They're in on Cliff Omari out of New Jersey. These are guys who are making programs better. These are guys who are program changers, and we'll see if ASU can capitalize and get involved in some of these big infusion of talent like programs. These other schools I'm talking about, how they're getting 5 stars, high 4 stars. ASU under Bobby Hurley has recruited better than ever in program history. That's a fact. Now it's a matter of developing and keeping them longer than one and dones. Like Lou Dort leaves. Obviously, after his freshman campaign last year, doesn't get drafted. Probably had some opportunities, but didn't want to get drafted and stashed. At the end of the day, it's going to take more than a play-in win and then a round of 64 blowout loss to further advance the program. You want consistency, you want continuity, and you want to continue to hopefully make the NCAA tournament with no play-in game. They've made play-in games back-to-back years now, and they'll see under Bobby Hurley if they can break that mold and kind of get into just the round of 64 automatically with an automatic bid. But we'll transition over to the NBA now, and it's been rather interesting because if you look at the results this season, the Phoenix Suns are probably my biggest surprise this year. And yes, on Thursday they lost to the Heat. It was around a 20-point loss, but as of late, they've picked up some wins against teams that you really wouldn't expect. And we'll see with the Lakers coming to town on Tuesday if they can carry some of the momentum, from their big wins in the Pacific Division, which is the division they're in, obviously the division they want to win games to put themselves atop the seeding, if they can potentially make a playoff run. And it's so early in the season. I get it. It's early. But with no DeAndre Ayton for reported 25 games because of that whole diuretic issue, you have Aaron Baines and Frank Kaminsky coming in and stepping up in a huge way. Aaron Baines is averaging 18 points. I mean, he was not doing that in Boston. He's just not doing that in Boston, I'll tell you that. And I know, the Twitter account, Sun Official Baines Fan Club, I follow it too. It's so funny. But because Aaron Baines is playing so well this year, you're seeing the impact spread across the whole roster. Javon Carter playing good minutes. Devin Booker should have been an all-star before, but he definitely is playing like one right now for this Phoenix Suns team. Ricky Rubio, the veteran presence, people said it was a bad signing. It wasn't a bad signing. He's making players better. His dishing, okay, in Utah, maybe it wasn't a perfect system fit. It seems like the system is fitting him in Phoenix. And Ricky Rubio is making Devin Booker better. Ricky Rubio is making everybody better. And he's playing well himself. Okay, that's the main thing. This guy, a little older, obviously a vet, taking guys under his wing and just making them better on and off the court. It's been awesome to see the Phoenix Suns kind of not start the season in a major slump like they have the past few years. I mean, it's their best start, I think, since like 2013. That's pretty much the roundup for college basketball, Pac-12 basketball, NBA basketball this week. You know where to find me on Twitter and Instagram, on all the social channels. You know where to find me. But I appreciate you guys for listening, and stay tuned next week for another great episode.
Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Anybody wanting to connect with me, the Sports Watchdog, on Twitter can do so at @SportsWatchdog, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well at The Sports Watchdog. So until next time, keep your eye on the ball.